Good morning, this is May Valensky with Driving Markets. So let's have a quick recap at where we're at, what happened on Friday, and what is driving markets today, this week. Okay, so Thursday morning, everyone was aware that Russia started the invasion of Ukraine. There's a war going on there, and the markets plummeted. However, once the war got on its way, and the markets realized that the sanctions against Russia are not going to include the international payments system of SWIFT, the markets quickly rebounded. And not only did they rebound on Thursday, on Friday the Dow closed 800 points up. Everything was up 3-4%. The FTSE was up 4.5%, which was incredible. Massive turnaround. That is a classic example of sell the rumor and buy the fact. In addition, it also follows all wars historically, where up until the war starts, the markets are very, very jittery and very volatile. But once the war kicks off, then the markets buy and go up and go extremely aggressive, higher, which is what happened on Friday. However, that is not going to continue. Just mark my words. What's likely to happen is that was a relief rally that happened on Thursday and Friday and sent the markets up significantly. However, you're probably going to end up with the markets being down this week, starting off with tonight when the futures open, and tomorrow, and you're going to end up with, in my opinion, significant down week. Why is that? Because once you have go past the relief rally and everyone gets into an understanding that, it's not as bad as it is, they go back to the geopolitical and the economic numbers, saying, okay, let's look at the market again based on geopolitical issues and on economic issues. And what you've got today is you've got significant economic issues, and they're going to be intensified on the back of the war in Ukraine. Why is that? The reason that is very, very simple. The gas pipeline is now being blown up by the Russians, so there's going to be less gas pumped through to Europe, which is going to drive prices higher because of lack of supply. In addition to that, Ukraine, being a massive wheat producer and a massive producer of grains, is now in a war situation. So those grains are not going to be harvested, and those grains are not going to be exported to the West. Some countries are dependent on Ukraine to the level of 50% of their national intake of grain comes in from Ukraine. So therefore, once that supply line is disrupted, you're going to have a significant jump in prices of wheat, barley, not so much rice, because rice comes from Asia, but all the other grains that are involved in maintaining, in baking or cooking or providing food for the West. Just be aware of that. That's very, very, very important. In addition to that, as long as the war goes on, then the uncertainty continues. What is quite mercenary about financial markets is that they're not really bothered about a war. They're not really bothered about human life or human distress or refugees. What they're not worried about financial markets is one thing only, which is money and the return on that money. So they're very, very mercenary. And it's a shame that there's a huge loss of human life in distress in refugees, but financial markets don't really care about that, because financial markets don't take into account the human cost. That's regarding the geopolitical system in Ukraine. Then you had some interesting numbers come out last week, which was on Friday, Foot Locker. Foot Locker, as you're well aware, is a major foot provider of sportswear in the States and across Europe. And they fell 30%. One, on their lack of reaching their earnings, and two, on their forecast. So Foot Locker was completely whacked by 30%. Very, very, very interesting, because Foot Locker is considered a regular retail store and will be considered a benchmark of where the US and European markets are going regarding footwear. So that is a significant number to watch. Also, what was interesting was yesterday was the birthday of Levi Strauss. Okay, if you remember, Levi Strauss, the biggest jean producer in the States, the biggest jean manufacturer in the States, they moved and became from Germany. They moved from Germany over to San Francisco in 1853, and they set up the Levi Strauss brand, became Levi Jeans, which is the most well-known jeans in the world. It's a massive production. That's a bit of side history for you. That was yesterday, was the birthday of Levi Strauss. Nothing else to report for the moment. You've got the FOMC, Jerome Powell, head of the chair, reporting to the Senate this week, Congress, on the monetary policy in the states and what's likely to happen. So it's something to keep an eye on as regarding Jerome Powell and what he's going to state to Congress. That's more or less it. So this is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, and you can find me on WhatsApp, LinkedIn. Contact me on Instagram. Have a good day.